Majo, John, Madden, Juanito, and Acamal, Mexico. I just made a video about how peaceful and quiet it is here in Acamal on Sunday, the Lord's Day. Domingo is the word for the Lord's Day in Spanish. It's super, super quiet. There's been a big construction project on this house, two lots over here. 2 days ago, they were pouring a new concrete floor, and there were about 8 workers involved and all kinds of cars and trucks out there, and they were loading cement, big buckets full of cement. It was very exciting and fun and great watching them work. And then yesterday there was hardly anything going on there, and today there's nothing going on there, and nothing going on pretty much at all. It's like 10:30, close to 11 now, and I've hardly seen any scooters moving, hardly any cars moving, no kids going to school with their parents. And these dogs, part of what's making this day especially peaceful for me is both that they are so peaceful. That's Negro, the black one. That's black in Spanish. And that is Princess. Princess is the mother of Negro and the mother of another dog who's been inside with us for about 9 or 10 days. And I've been in Acamal for 4 months now, and in this tiny house for over 2 months. And I'm a guy who loves dogs and have grieved for 1.5 years not having dogs in my life anymore, and never intended to adopt dogs down here. But these 2 and one more who you can't see here, who I call Spot, gravitated towards me, and after some resistance, I decided to let them stay in the house at night. And no other dogs. I bar the door. I don't let any other dogs in. And my landlord has asked me to not let more than 3 dogs in the house, and he doesn't really like having dogs in the house at all. Those of you who are renters and have pets know that there's a whole thing you have to go through, which places will allow them. And Marcos, my landlord, who's a really sweet guy and a good friend of mine, said that the ordinance is no more than 3. There's some kind of a Tulum, is the municipality here, ordinance of no more than 3 dogs. And I wouldn't want more than 3. It would be too much. And so then he asked me to not keep them in the house at night. And I said, well, if you build, he offered to build a little shelter out here to shelter from the elements for them. I said, if you do that, I'll put them out. And then I realized another day later, after we had that whole conversation, I realized you have loved settling here in Acamal, and you really want to be a long-timer here, but you're not going to be because you can't make money here. This pueblo is a very simple place with essentially no English speakers, maybe 10% max English speakers. And the products, the coaching products I want to offer with my background in psychology and management consulting, there's no market here. There's no market here. You thought that you could start by offering it through the lovely community center here, but they don't allow you to charge, and they move super, super slow. And I think really the truth is the idea of someone who's not a Pueblo resident offering courses and not a native Spanish speaker was too much for them. They're so conflict averse, like most Mexicans, that they've never said, we think it's not going to work out. They just are slow walking it and planning that I'll go away, which I have. So if I'm leaving, I've stopped. I have now said to Marcos, don't bother building a shelter. I don't want them to get attached to being here. I'm not telling him this yet, but I'll probably be gone in a couple of months. Let's not get them attached to be here. And I've started to put them out at night. And the really interesting thing this morning is the last 3 mornings, all 3 of them have been right out here waiting to get in. This morning, not only were they not super excited about getting in, these 2 were here. Spot, who's been super, super attached to me, was not here at all. She had just gone elsewhere. And when she showed up, they've all been super happy to have someone pet them, which they don't get at all, and to be inside a building, which I think they've never had. But this morning there was no excitement. They just said, "Oh, it's good to get in. Let's see if there's water. Let's see if there's kibble." Spot showed up about a half hour later, wanted to engage with me, but was not frantic about it, and then took off again. So I'm calling this good news. This is good news. I want them to be less attached to me. I want them not to lose their grounding in the pack. The 10 dogs or so who roam free on the street. I only see one dog walking on a leash here. And that house over there, I talked to the guy who lives there, and he said, yeah, well, half the dogs on this block, we both are calling it a barrio, a neighborhood, half the dogs on this block came from her. And I think he has a different name for Princess. And he said, I know that she's adopted you, but she used to be mine. And he's fine with that. He doesn't care. I said, well, I'm not going to be here forever. She'll come back to you. He said, yeah, she will. So the fact that it's seeming less scary that I've gotten them out of their ecological niche, I've gotten them too attached to me, I think that's less true. They're showing signs of keeping their identity with the block, the barrio, the pack of dogs. So all that is adding to my sense of peace this morning, and now I've made a video about peace and mindfulness, and then a video about Sunday, Domingo, and I'm about to make one more video of another tip for mindfulness or entering into the silence. Yeah, okay, good morning.